Marvin, I see the tweet here. You hold the single season all of high school record. Like, how do we celebrate that, dude?
Yeah, it was a crazy year, but it happened so long ago. But it's still funny because a lot of people still bring it up all the time. So no, it's pretty cool. It's sweet, and it's a year that will for sure always be remembered, especially in my high school.
Do you get to talk trash to everybody? You're like, yeah, wait. I have more yards than you in high school. Does that still? When do you get to talk on that?
Oh, I think all the time. It's funny because like I'll play like teammates from high school, guys that because I mean North Texas, bunch of guys from there in the NFL now. So I played a bunch of guys in high school, and I was always like bring it up, like, oh yeah, you guys can do anything with me in high school, and they'll just laugh.
Texas high school football built different. I'll go back into your past a little bit more too. I have picked Oklahoma as kind of my team of destiny this year. How stoked were you to watch your team take down Auburn on Saturday?
Yeah, I was excited. It was a big game, the first SEC game of the season, and I actually know Jackson Arnold really well. Him being the quarterback at Auburn now, he was recruited kind of the same area. Denton's not far from Frisco at all, so kind of root for him, but also root for Oklahoma at the same time. Ended up being a great game, and we pulled it out. So just real happy, happy alum here, and just 4-0. So just keep on rolling.
All right, Marvin, we got to talk about the Broncos. Now, full disclosure, I've got a Raiders tattoo and a Raiders helmet behind me. So, first and foremost, I owe you an apology for all the things that I yell at your team on Sundays. But let's get to the game from Sunday. You guys take on the Chargers. What can you take away from a tough divisional loss?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is that, divisional games are really important and just to go on the road there and play that team. I mean, they've been hot to start the season and we give them a really good fight. And, even with last game in the past two games, I mean, we've been up in the fourth quarter and then, lose in the last second field goal. So we just got to find a way just to keep knocking, not lose games in the last second, and especially when we're up, just make the most opportunity and finish.
What is it like playing for who I call an offensive genius in Sean Payton? What have you learned, kind of being in that offensive system?
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly, just like an offensive mastermind. Just the way, I think the biggest thing that took me by surprise is the way he watches film. There'll be a lot of sessions where all the skill positions are in there watching with them, and he's so particular about all the different little things from splits, route depth, all types of stuff. So just to kind of learn from him, see the game how he sees the game, and just kind of be on the same page with him is it's a pretty cool thing. It takes time, but when you get used to it, it's a really cool thing.
Similar question, but with another guy in the wide receiver room, Courtland Sutton. He's in Denver Bronco OG. What have you learned from him?
Yeah, I think with Court, it's just all around. He's just a great guy. Whether it's on the field, off the field, in the meeting room. I mean, he's always vocal in meetings, vocal on the field, and then in the offseason stuff, he's always inviting guys like, "Hey, come over, let's do this, let's go to the Rockies game," and he literally takes care of like everything, especially for the young guys. I mean, we have a real young receiver room, so he takes care of us a lot. He looks out for us a lot, and we know that if we need anything, Cortland, if he doesn't know the answer, he knows someone who does. So he's a great vet to have. Looks out for literally everybody in the locker room. He's just an exceptional leader.
I mean, you also get to practice against Patrick Surtain every day, right? Like, and we talk about how that makes you better. I know you'll give me that stock answer, but let's be real. What do you actually learn from somebody on the other side of the ball that helps you on Sundays?
Yeah, I think for him, it's the way he approaches the game. And it's kind of weird, being in camp and stuff and OTAs, and we're kind of running the same plays and stuff like that. But Pat brings such a different look to the game. He'll throw different looks at you. You kind of see a little bit of everything with him. But when he's really in his zone, I mean, he's a tough matchup to go against. 6'3", really long, really fast, crazy fast. I don't think he gets enough love for how fast he is. But I mean, he's a game changer. I mean, if he's on one side of the field, that whole side is completely shut off. And he's been real great for us, even in the locker room. And he's been a captain for us the past 2 years. And he's just an amazing player.
You guys trash talk in practice?
I think it's more of the D line. D line goes at it,
Mm.
and most of the guys in the D line will talk to me. I sit next to Malcolm Roach. He trash talks a lot, but in the locker room. But
Wait.
as
Aren't
far as
wide
the
receivers
DBs
supposed to be
go,
the best trash talkers? Like, are you guys are supposed to be the ones that always talk?
I think most of the time it's the DBs at trash talk. But it's like when we're out there, it's kind of a love hate thing, especially in training camp. I mean, the way our training camps go, and we're going against each other every day, it's more of a love hate thing. But there will be some trash talk on days where we're just like, not having it or just pissed off at each other.
It's hot. You're over it. I get it. You have an extra day this week. You're playing on Monday Night Football. You now have 6 days from now to rest, to recover. What does that do for you from a recovery standpoint, from a mental standpoint, from a preparation standpoint? How is having this long week and then you'll have a short week next week? How are those 2 weeks different?
Yeah, I think it's completely different. NFL seasons are real long. They can get brutal at a point, but long weeks for sure help. Especially us playing Monday night against a pretty good Bengals team, a team that's hungry for a win, just like we are. So we're gonna have to bring our best game and game plan for them as good as we can. And then following that week, we got to play the Eagles on a short week, so that's not going to be easy either. And then after that, we got to go to London. So it's a tough little 3 week stretch right here. But at the end of the day, I mean, we just got to go in and just keep attacking days, one day at a time and just not to look forward and just, take everything that's coming to us right now.
I love talking to players about what maybe the rest of us don't understand sometimes. And there's a lot of conversation right now about quarterback development, young quarterbacks. You play with a young quarterback. When you hear all the conversation about the way quarterbacks are developed and how much time you get them, what do you think the key is developing a young star at that position?
Yeah, I think the thing is that I just want them to be comfortable. And especially with Bo, I mean, last year he shows so much, talent and potential, got us to the first playoffs, and I don't know how long since Denver's been to the playoffs. And, this season, this offseason, even last year, I mean, he's been a great leader for us, real vocal. When Bo Nix is in the huddle, I mean, he's locked in, he's dialed in, he's serious. And just like the quarterback is the hardest position to play in football. You got to control everybody, from the O line, play call, running backs, receivers. So I think the biggest thing being around a quarterback is just try to make his job as easy as possible, and with being a returner and a receiver, just trying to make plays that I can on the ball and being a returner, just trying to get him great field position so he can have short drives and get some points, but being a quarterback's tough. And I think I realized that Bo's rookie year and just realizing him coming in and how well he handled it, but at the same time also realizing how much he had on his plate.
Are you guys seeing any change in year two on the way teams are attacking him now that they have more proof, more film on Bo?
I wouldn't say that. I think it's still a lot of makes different looks. I wouldn't say it's just a Bo Nix thing. I think it's more of like a team thing, the way teams are trying to attack us as an offense and kind of knowing who we are and how Coach Payton likes to call plays. But I think there's some games where, we struggle at points and times, but there's sometimes we flash a lot. And I think the biggest thing is just consistency. The more we can get consistent and just make good plays and make good drives at key spots in the games, the better off we'll be.
We talk a lot about, in what we do, sophomore slumps, quarterbacks coming into their second year that might struggle a little bit or take a step back or have a learning curve period. You obviously work with the quarterbacks a lot. You're observing it, you're seeing it, you're talking with your quarterback. Why do you think that quote unquote sophomore slump might be? Not necessarily for Bo, but just in quarterbacks in general.
Yeah, I think just in the NFL, I mean, you especially coming off of a great rookie season, I think there is a sense of comfortability, especially with anyone. I mean, even me myself, and just staying hungry, staying and being comfortable. I mean, just like you guys asked me earlier, they're throwing different looks at them, or they game plan against them. Like the more film you get on yourself in the NFL, the harder things will be. And once you are one of those guys that make a name for yourself, teams will attack you. Teams will come with a different mentality than they have in the past. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing. And also just with, the hype of our team starting off the season, a lot of teams have us circled on their schedule and, just want to give us the best they can. So, we got to respond. We got to be better. But, I like where we are. I like the team we have, and I like the guys we have in the locker room.
We're
Like we
also seeing a
mentioned,
ton.
you went to sorry to
Go ahead.
step on your toes, Fitzy, but like we mentioned, you went to Oklahoma, a quarterback factory, and you had the privilege of playing with a lot of quarterbacks. There was some rotation in your time there, whether it was Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams in his time at OU, Dylan Gabriel. How was your experience in college working with different quarterbacks? How has that kind of helped you or guided you in your time now in the NFL working with a young quarterback?
Yeah, I think in college, it's a lot different. I mean, we're kind of like at the same time, we're all like young kids trying to figure it out, going out there playing ball. And at Oklahoma, you're going to get the best recruits. I mean, we had Spencer Rattler my freshman year, and then Caleb Williams my second year, and then Dylan Gabriel my third. And the biggest thing, all three of them, is just like how different they were, in terms of how they see the field. And then in my third year, we had Jeff Levy as the OC. Dylan had already been in the system. So for me and Dylan, my third year is just a lot of me listening and kind of hearing what he has to say about the offense. And then the first 2 years was trying to just see what Caleb and Spencer kind of liked and just got comfortable with them. But I think it's cool. It's cool to see how different people approach the game. I mean, my rookie year, I have Russell Wilson, a guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer, and just to hear all his stories and how he thinks about different routes. To me, being that young at that age, I think I was 18, I mean, not 18, but 21 my rookie year, and just to hear how specific he wants every route and all that stuff. Just attention to detail was just amazing for me. And the thing that surprised me a lot about Bo is that he came in and it was kind of just like Russ, maybe not as particular, but just like what he wanted. He knew what he wanted. He knew what he wanted to see out there. And I just thought, I knew for a fact that he would, pan out and just be an exceptional player for us his rookie year. And, end up leading us to the playoffs and having a great year. And now we're just, trying to build on that and get even better and just be one of the top offenses in the league. And just, I think it's just all just kind of as quickly as we can gel, the better off we'll be.
Okay, so every year, I've been lucky in my career. I've covered the draft for about a decade at this point. I feel like every year we're like, this is the best wide receiver class ever. That's what we do all the time, right? Why are young wide receivers coming into the league so anticipated? Like, what's made the development of wide receivers so much better at the college level?
Yeah, I think even when you look at it, I mean, we have one of our receiver coach, Kerry Colbert, played at USC, played in the NFL for a good amount of time, and sometimes he'll bring up like old clips. Like last week, we were watching some pretty old clips of some stars in the league, and it's just like you watch their route running, you watch all this stuff, and it's like it looks like old. Like it's like a kind of like a new generation of route running and the way guys move and just athleticism and not taking away anything from like, the older guys because I mean, they were dogs when they were playing. But at the same time, it's just, I think the training, the accessibility of all this type of different stuff is just so different nowadays. I mean, you can see it in high school, kids growing up, and then you get into college. And I think the biggest thing is that you do all this crazy training and stuff, but in certain offenses, a lot of it's a time and offense. You know what I mean? So you can't sit there all day in your route doing all this different stuff. You got to be ready for the quarterback. So I think that's why we're seeing receivers just so more developed nowadays. But at the same time, like I kind of said earlier, you just want to get to that point where you're not doing too much and just, but you're open and ready for the quarterback.
Who are those guys in the league right now at the receiver position that you're like, yeah, I want to watch that? Like this guy's going to do something that excites me.
Yeah, I think dude, there's so many guys. I mean, I've been in Pro Bowl my past 2 years and just sitting in the room with, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill. We're talking about three guys who do completely different things, Jamar Chase, but they're all just exceptional at what they do and they're really good at it and it's hard to stop. I mean, you talk about Nico being 6'4", freaky athletic, fast as can be, Tyreek Hill, fastest player maybe that's ever touched the field. And it's just cool to see, even tight ends. I mean, this tight ends are now even more. I mean, you talk about receivers, but tight ends I think have even took more of a bigger step, being bigger bodies and moving the way they do. But yeah, I think, the way the NFL is, I mean, you watch so much tape. You watch so many teams who attack defenses and there's different receivers that you'll see flash on different plays just because of the play and the look they got. And it's just like everyone has untapped potential. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like what can they do with the opportunities they're given?
All right, before we let you go, Marvin, you are on primetime TV, taking on the Bengals on Monday. For people that might be tuning into a Broncos game for the first time this season, what's the identity of this team? What do you want people to take away from watching the Broncos?
Yeah, I think for us as a team, one of the biggest things is just being a smart football team, playing hard and being physical and playing longer, as physical as we can for our opponent. And as long as we do that, we'll be in favorable situations. And I think, this season we've been in very favorable situations our past three games and we just haven't been able to finish. But as long as we keep doing what we're doing, and Coach Payton has a tremendous culture and just stay true to it, I mean, I think we'll be in a good place. And I mean, Broncos country is special. I mean, this will be our second home game of the season, and with it being a night game, it should be pretty rowdy. So you'll be able to hear it through the TV and see it. But it's a definitely a fun place to play.
Yeah, Denver at night, one of the best environments in the league by far. Marvin, man, we appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging out with us.